Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I'm so excited to have on a 31-year-old from Summerside, Prince Edward Island, Canada. Their hockey journey, or his hockey journey, has taken him to Canada, the USA, Australia, and he has become a living, playing legend and captain of my chocolatey Manchester Storm of England. He started the Chocolate Storm way back in episode 226. That is nearing 1,000 goals, plays, or listens. But it became a tradition to chuck chocolate when they earned it that night. Uh, whoa. Because they were mucking it up against the fun banners of Sheffield and won. But it seems being a captain and mucking it up and winning is not new for this shed guy, as he is a three-time CIS or U Sports national champion with the University of New Brunswick. For fun, he then left his mark in Australia, putting up 92 points in 37 games played, and obviously was named league MVP. Just this past season, made his debut and scored his first goal with another one of the Shed's favorite teams, Team Great Britain. But he is best known for being a legend in Manchester and the Shed, and as far as I know, is the first professional hockey player sponsored by a podcast, and makes me proud every time he leads the Storm out to battle. Welcome back to the Shed, Cameron Critchlow.
Thanks, Wally boy. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for coming back on. I don't want to pester you too much, but never been a sponsor of a professional hockey player before.
Always got time for my jersey sponsor.
You know what? I might be the second coolest jersey sponsor ever. In Bietigheim, I got sponsored by Manfred the meat guy. Gave me free meat all year. Yeah.
That's not a bad hookup.
Like good meat too, like Argentinian beef, the whole deal. I can't provide those things for you. I can provide fun though, and chocolate.
That's all I ask.
So yeah, crazy that I'm sponsoring you and that like my logo is on your jersey, man.
Yeah, it looks pretty sharp too.
It does, eh?
Yeah.
Well done, Lee Freeman, my poster maker guy. He made that logo up, and way back when this all started, my neighbor here gave me the name Two Ales and Hockey Tales. I sent him the message that night and went to sleep, and I wake up the next morning thinking about starting this, and the logo is sitting there waiting for me, just like it looks on your jersey right now. And I think that is neat, and fun is fun, right?
Yeah, it must have been a sign.
Right? There's been a lot of signs. A lot of things seem to make sense these days. But yeah, I get into how we know each other. We met in episode 226, right? The
Yeah, it
start.
was what, almost a year ago now.
I actually looked it up. It was early November last year. So almost a year
Yeah.
ago now we met. I've had a lot
You
of
say
fun since then.
it's almost our 1 year anniversary.
That's right. Yeah. I guess you could call it that, right? Because well, I guess it's a 1 year anniversary of the Chocolate Storm starting, right?
That's right.
Things have really gotten carried away, haven't it?
Yeah, the fans are really buying into it. I think
That's what we need. You
the
need
boys
everybody
certainly
to buy
enjoy
in
it.
to win, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and they're getting it. I mean, I've seen Carl Fagers from Finland for Santeri. Have you tried that yet?
He gave me a bite earlier on in the year. And it was pretty solid actually. So there's a good chocolate everywhere, just like there's good people.
That's true. And he seems like he's a little muck runner, eh?
He's a beauty. He's a good kid and a really good player. He's got a good release, heavy shot. He's definitely talented.
Yeah, he looks so young though. He's so cute.
He
He's like,
does.
yeah, like I saw a picture of him and Jake together, and I was like, geez, cute
The
photo.
kids just keep getting younger and younger every year. So
Yeah. So anyways, then I had John again. I tried to give you a shed boost there right before playoffs, right? When you're playing them orange folks again.
that's right. That's right. I could always use the boost.
Yeah, and I heard you scored like a big tying goal that first leg, I think they call it. That silly home and home series.
Yeah, nice 2 game aggregate. Beautiful
Isn't it?
format.
Isn't it weird? I mean,
Yeah, it's a bit strange being a hockey guy from North America, but definitely something to get adjusted to.
yes, I totally agree. So anyways, how we know each other is since that first episode, we talked about it and we said we only want chocolate if we earn it, right? And now when you guys win, there is a chocolate storm. And I've even seen like volunteers out with shovels getting ready for the storm and they pick up all the chocolate for you guys, eh?
Man, it's been embraced. Let's say that. I think we got some stewards and kids and everything else out there, shovels and filling up garbage bags full of chocolate, which makes its way into the room. So I know the boys love it, and it's definitely a fun little tradition to have.
It really is, and it's as hockey gets in my world. I find that when there's just a little bit more incentive, like just a little bit more, sometimes it can push you a little bit. Like when I was coaching under 11 boys and we had a must-win do or die game or we were tits on toast. And there wasn't going to be a trophy that night, but I brought a mini Stanley Cup that was actually a popcorn maker. And when I did my pregame speech, I brought it out and I said, when we go out there and beat this team, we're all going to come in and sign the Stanley Cup and we'll be brothers for life. And sure to shit, we went out and beat a team that was way better than us. I still got
Will
that
over
photo.
skill, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can outwork teams, definitely. So, anyways, you guys are in the storm shelter this weekend then?
Yeah, we got Sheffield again Saturday. We were just on the road there last night. So last night was the first time we saw them this season. They got another good team. We've had a good start to the year, but that was our first loss in a while. So it was a little bit of a reality check, but it's never easy going into that barn.
It's too
Let them get
big,
them
too
again at home.
warm. Yeah. They always do have good teams though, money talks. But whatever, right? Bring it back to the storm shelter, right? It's only one game, right?
That's right.
Anywho. You know what else was fun was when Yaps for Jesper came from Sweden. Did you get to try a yap?
I don't think I did. I'll stick with Santy's Finnish candy here for now.
So what is your favorite? Because when you first came on, you just wanted a storm. You're just a team guy. You just want chocolate for everybody. But have you narrowed down your favorite since we started this?
Yeah, you know me. I like a bit of variety, but any kind of dairy milk. I got kind of turned on to the new White Lions. I don't know if you've had one of
Oh
those
yeah,
white
White
chocolate
Lion,
lions.
eh? I think
Yeah,
DeLuca was a lion guy, if I remember correctly.
yeah,
But the White
yeah, they're
Lion,
pretty
eh? Why
good.
are people getting into this white chocolate? I don't get it.
Man, I'm not a huge white chocolate guy myself, but these things are like they're addictive. They're pretty good.
White Lion, folks. Well, you heard it here. Captain Critch wants White Lion, and you know what that made me think of is last weekend, Jake came on with a couple other shed legends, Mac and Mosey, who started the chocolate originally. And we asked for White Buenos, and I told Moose to grab it if he saw one in the storm. And sure to shit, there was a White Buenos, and Moose sent me a picture that he had it secured for Jake. That's hockey, right?
Yeah, I'm sure Moe's never says no to a chocolate, right?
Mosey? Yeah, I guess you played with him, Team GB, right?
Yeah, I got to know him a little bit over my time with GB. He's a great fella.
Yeah, he is, and he's a Kit Kat guy, and we're trying to get the Kit Kats back in Cardiff. I'm a sponsor of you guys, but Cardiff still got to, it's never gonna, I'm always a devil.
That's right. You're true to your roots. I know that.
Yeah, and looking at your resume, and I guess I was wondering why it took such a shine to you. Obviously, the chocolate helped, but I also saw you got some loyalty in you too. You've only played on two professional teams, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of uh, something you don't see a whole lot. But yeah, I was in the East Coast League with Jacksonville, and I loved it there. Ended up being there for 3 years, and then came to Manchester. And when you know, you know, it's second home to me, and really buy into what Finner and Mac are doing here, and love being a part of it.
No, and yeah, I playing for shed guys or working for shed guys is way better than when you get on teams where it's hard to buy into what the people are saying to you when they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't resonate, and you know that better than anyone. So
Yeah. So anyways, I find it neat that you've only been on a couple teams and then, you know, I guess it helps that you got a good sponsor this year, right?
that's the backbone. That's the backbone of it all.
Hey, and folks, just so you know, we're having a raffle at aleshockeytales.com. 5 Ryan O'Reilly signed hockey pucks from when I helped train with them this summer on the ice. And also, we have a Robert Dowd signed T-shirt of all the Steelers, the fun banners from Sheffield. But we're all one big hockey family, and that's to raise money for Rich Bateman's road to recovery from his stroke. All those raffle tickets are available at aleshockeytales.com. And I think both teams playing this weekend should be buying tickets for that because both your teams are involved, right?
Well, I think you see how far you've developed now. You got ad reads in the podcast, so I like that. We're
What
moving up.
was that an ad read? That was ad reading for myself to try and sell raffle tickets. I should get some ad reads going in here, eh? Then we're really doing it.
No,
Then
we're moving up.
maybe I could sponsor more than just your jersey if people paid me to do this, right?
That's the dream for you. I know it.
Well, that would be a pretty nice life. Okay. So let's see here. The other way we know each other, and I was starting to, I don't know, I almost felt stalkerish when I saw that Robert Greeley put up his documentary, and all of a sudden I was at like Canadian Thanksgiving with you, and I was like, holy moly, I'm sponsoring this guy. Now I'm seeing at his Thanksgiving, and I'm like, Jesus, am I a stalker?
Yeah, he's a newfie from out east, and he was in doing some. He's doing a bit of a tour right now, and
Pretty
he
cool what
had
that guy's
known.
doing.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff, and he knows what he's talking about. So CJ Garcia again, our team. He was at Carleton, and I think Robert was at U Ottawa, and they
Confirmed
had
shed
kind of
guy, by
getting
the
to
way.
know each other. Yeah, he's a beauty, and so he came over, got some content, and we ended up winning that night. So we went out for a few pints. He joined us, and we had Thanksgiving the next day. So invited him over, East Coast hospitality, and we had a
Hmm.
good day. Had all the boys and the significant others over, and it was nice to have people from out east and from the area you're from. Always nice to have them around.
Well, I made it feel like a really small world because um, you see things on your device and you just shouts out that guy's a shed guy. And that CJ, he posted something. I think it was a picture of you with your number one up, and he said, "You're my boy, Blue," and it made me giggle. And it's like, I bet you that guy's a shed guy. So then I wrote to him, and he's like, "I'm actually at Canadian Thanksgiving right now, so I'm a bit preoccupied. Can't do it right now." But he is coming on. And then like the next day I see that Robert Greeley send out the like Canadian Thanksgiving like little documentary thing, which was really cool. And then I see all you guys there. I see CJ there. I see the guy a sponsor there that's coming on this week. And I'm like, holy moly. So you know what I did? I booked all three of you. CJ's coming on and Robert. Because that Robert, he's got videos on YouTube of like him going to Dresden. I've been there. He goes to Crimmitchow. I've been there. I'm sure we can find things to talk about.
Yeah, he's good for. Yeah, he's a good guy, and he's got some interesting stuff. Um, he documents a lot of guys from out east and some fun facts from all over the NHL. So he's got some good content for sure.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna chat with him next week and we'll just keep the party going. And anyways, Wenny, your goalie. I always tried to have a good relationship with my goalie. I think your goalie is one of the biggest beauties I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I can confirm that he's quite the boy. He's a good Saskatoon guy, and
Yeah. That's
he's a hell
cool
of
in
a
a
goalie.
goalie, right?
But yeah, he's a good guy, and he's quirky like the rest of them, but he's pretty cool, and he's always good for a laugh.
And his favorite chocolate, folks, was peppermint arrows. Just so you know, if you want
Yeah,
your goalie to make more
that's
kick saves, right?
I think that type of chocolate describes a goalie perfectly.
Yeah. Peppermint. I didn't get that either. I don't get the white chocolate or the peppermint, you know? Anyways, and the other guy I had on was Martin. Hey, he scored a few goals recently.
Yeah, he's a good skilled little forward. Another guy. He's a good guy in the room. He's a rookie this year, his first pro year, and he's been doing a great job fulfilling his rookie duties and also playing really well for us. So
Is he
he's a
cleaning the
good kid,
bus?
and
The Greggy bus?
what's he's helping unload. I'll say that he does a lot of little things that I can see make a big difference. So it's always good to see guys chipping in and going out of their way to help other people in the room or the staff or whatever it may be.
Shed guy. Good for him, right? Okay. Other way we know each other though is that picture from your hockey match last week has to be up there for best hockey photos I've ever seen in my life, ever. You are just getting ready to pop the guy right in the kisser.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I had gotten hurt in preseason this year, and the guy kind of I don't know. We got tangled up, but there's a few shifts in a row. He kind of was. I don't know. He was going after that area, so I just kind of got a little fed up with him.
Really?
Yeah,
Did that punch land then? Square right in the kisser? Because it looked like it was coming in hot.
yeah. I there was a couple ended for sure.
I love that picture with your face and your knuckles ready, and then when you see Wendy and Net just kind of standing there like I'm watching, but I'm not watching. That's so funny.
Yeah, one of those you can't look away type situations.
Oh gosh, that's like literally the best hockey photo I've ever seen, and I could tell that guy deserved it.
I can I have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, well, when people, it's yeah, I shouldn't get into it, but the guy that gave the knockout blow to my knee in Germany, um, I played summer hockey against him like a year later, and I try, two-handers were coming out hard.
It's fun. It's
I
funny
hadn't
how
forgot, even in the
yeah,
summer, I hadn't forgot the year I had just had.
hockey guys tend not to forget. So
No, and that guy's still a punk, you know? So punks are punks, right?
that's right.
Another thing I just saw, because I'm a creepy stalker, is all the fellas, all the shed guys were just at this Oxford roadside cafe, and I saw a picture of it there you guys were posting, and I was like, holy moly, all the shed guys are hanging out outside of the rink. Like that's how teams win, you know?
Yeah, man, I'll be honest. We got a really good group of guys, and the buy-in has been really good this year. And like a big thing that I noticed is guys show up and work; they don't complain. So it's really all you can ask for. And it's a bit of a throwback team. We got a lot of jams, so it's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of, and
An
it's good
old school
to
team with some jam
yeah,
that could work
yeah,
at this day and age.
yeah. It's different now. The game's shifted quite a bit, but we definitely have a bit of a throwback and some snarl, and it's not, we have some tough customers, but it's by committee, so it's good to be a part of. It's fun, and it's just good to be a part of a hardworking team.
Who else is dropping the mitts around there? Anybody?
We got a big fella, my roommate Lauren Ulett. He's from Port Perry. He just
Port
spent
Perry.
5 years. Yeah, he just spent 5 years in Kansas City in the East Coast League. Uh, he's built like an NFL linebacker, and he can skate, so he can do some damage out there for sure.
Well, tell him I'll have to get him in the shed. You know?
Yeah, I'll pass that along to him over dinner.
Yeah. What is for dinner tonight?
I don't know. We haven't made a trip to the grocery store yet, but I'm sure we'll get it
Mm.
figured out here
Well,
soon.
your Canadian Thanksgiving, man, from that little documentary Robert posted, like you guys can cook. Is that the gals or the guys
Well,
made mucking like you
it
guys are running amok
was
with that food.
a lot of the wives and significant others haven't really made it in yet. Like there's a few hanging around, but we just had a potluck type style, and the boys stepped up their game. It was impressive.
It was impressive. Yeah, my goodness. Okay, so where and what are you doing now? I guess you're in Manchester.
Well, yeah, in Manchester,
Living
yeah,
with
we got
Oulette.
yeah, living with Yuli, playing hockey, staying out of trouble, enjoying the odd pint here or there.
Well, yeah, you'd have to, right? Anyways, okay, so let's see here. Who are your line mates right now?
Right now I'm playing with Steven Johnson, who I'd play with for majority of the year last year. He's another Maritime guy. Played at St. Mary's University, played in Wichita. Then he's been here with his second year here, and another guy, Will Merchant, played at University of Maine, played in Idaho. He's a good player. He's a really good veteran for us. Actually, I think he's about 28 years old, but he's a really solid veteran and plays two ways. He's got a good scoring touch, so definitely a fun guy to play with.
Well, I like the roster Ginner put together, you know. I don't know what kind of budget they have around there, but like they've found some gems, some real dandies, it seems. Every guy I've
Yeah,
talked to is just a dandy so far.
yeah. I mean, it kind of goes back to what I said about like the buy-in and this character guys. So
Yeah, that's how you
we've
win
had
though.
a yeah, and we've been lucky to pick up two pretty good defensemen along the way here. So with Matt
Right.
Murphy and Joe Morrow, I know Murph. We played university together. He's good buddies with my younger brother, so I've known him for a long time. And Joe, his resume speaks for himself, but you never know with someone like that coming in, and he's just been awesome. Like he's low maintenance, good guy. Like to give you the shirt off his back type of fella. So pretty
That's
cool
pretty
to
cool. Yeah.
yeah, it's been really cool to see him operate and just kind of come in and just work hard and be a good guy and good teammate and kind of help guys along the way.
Well, it's exciting what's going on around there. If I hear there's a real buzz in Manchester, you know? I heard your
Yeah,
next
I mean,
game's almost sold out already.
yeah, I think we're pretty close, and we believe we have a good team, and we've had a good start to the season. We're just looking to build on that each game and not get too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, well, it's like I'm coaching this under 13 team now, and we've just been going through preseason, and she's been emotional roller coaster, man. We've had some tough
Yeah,
looks out there, and then we've looked somewhat decent. A
yeah,
lot of work to do this season so
yeah.
far.
That's what preseason's for, man.
Preseason doesn't matter at all. It's being ready for the real games, right?
Yeah, let's get out there feeling good, getting adjusted to systems, whatever it may be. I don't know what kind of systems you're running with the U13s, but
Well, that's
I'm sure
actually
there's a
where
lot
we're
of.
at though, man. They've never played systems and I got to like
That's
teach
the
them
thing.
systems. There's a lot of
Yeah,
teaching to go on and then it's like, well then when do we work on the skills? There's not enough ice time. It's
yeah,
you got to use every minute you get out there right now with these guys. So,
that's
uh
right.
yeah, we got a big tournament coming up next weekend though. Kind of pretty excited to try and win a trophy myself, you know. I watch all these other guys try and win trophies and now it's my turn, you know.
Yeah.
Love this stuff. Anyways, okay, next poster pick. Shed guy selfie with three older gentlemen. Who are they?
So that's my dad and two of his brothers. That was in Ireland. We were there for my cousin's wedding last May, and so my dad's originally from there. His family still lives there. So yeah, it was cool. It was you're just in the pub with your uncles who are anywhere from 55 to 60, and they're just slinging them back and having a great time. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a pretty good time. And one of my uncles, Barry, and his family are going to be coming over in November to watch their first ice hockey game. So they're pretty fired up.
That will be fun. And then hopefully it's Chocolate Storm, right?
That's right. I think we're playing Belfast when they come, so it'll be a good test.
Yeah, well, I checked out, I don't know why I'm so into this team, but I checked out like the upcoming schedule for some reason. And man, it's a tough league to play in these days. Like every game you guys got's a hard game.
Yeah, I mean, like there's like the big teams and whatnot, but there's not a bad team in the league. Like it's crazy how it's developed, and every team's going to give you a tough game every night. So I mean, that's what you want, though. You don't want to have, you don't want it to be easy. You want to go in and battle and have to
Yeah,
earn what you get.
muck it up, right?
That's right.
So other poster picks is I threw on there some chocolate just because, it's part of the episode, right? I put on the picture of Carl Fazers I was sent from people in Manchester. Then boosts, shed boosts, not, all these different chocolate bars I didn't even know about until all this fun started.
Yeah, well, it's I was definitely introduced to a lot of new ones when I came over the first time too.
It's that first day, like if you guys don't win that game, like, does any of this even happen? Weird to think about
Yeah,
now.
that's why we answered the bell.
Right? That's why you answer the bell. Okay. Anyways, so was it after fighting that fella, giving him the pop there? Was that when you were going to the fans with the number one in the air there or pointing at
Yeah,
them?
it was. Yeah, it was just after the fight, race to the
Yeah.
penalty box, and fire up the crowd a little bit.
Just a couple epic photos, right? All in one shift.
Yeah. It was definitely one of the more fun shifts. Better than losing.
Yeah. That's for sure. And another one I put on the poster is every time you're in the starting lineup on Twitter or whatever, they put Ed our starting six and they tag me in it. And it's a picture of you and it says sponsored by Two Ales and Hockey Tales. And it has my logo on there. And they do it every game because you start like every game you're playing. Good stuff.
Well, we've been lucky. Like the last few games, we've won. So Ginner usually sticks with the same starting lineup when that happens.
Right. And it's pretty neat when that happens. It almost makes your heart like palpitate when you're like, geez, I can't believe talking to my sheds turned into like that. you know?
That's good
Uh,
exposure. It's nice to have you sponsor me for sure.
yeah, for sure. And you know what else I put on? Because I saw it last year and I don't know why I'd saved this photo was the picture of your first GB goal. So how was your experience with Team GB?
It was awesome, man. Like I can't say enough about that group of guys. Like
What a
really
squad,
good
eh?
people.
Like Richie,
Yeah,
Jono, Dowdy, Bouncy, Mizey, like
the list
quite
goes on, man. On
yeah,
like the
yeah,
list goes on and
keeps
on,
going.
and
Davy
yeah,
Phillips.
it's especially being a new guy, and like it's weird sometimes when you've been in a group that's been together for a long time, but they welcomed me and made me feel right at home right away, which was nice. And there's a lot of nerves involved with that, so It was a lot of fun, and it was definitely a big honor to put on that jersey, and I really hope that I get to do it again.
Yeah, and then I guess it'd be the new Cardiff coach was the coach of that, eh?
Yeah, Pete was the coach. I didn't get to spend a ton of time with Pete because we had the national break, and Pete was there. But when I was in camp with them before the tournament, he was still in playoffs in Germany with his Del 2 team. So I didn't get to be that close with him then, but I've heard a lot of good things, and obviously his resume speaks for itself.
Yeah, he's a pretty funny character. I saw him when I went over there. And funny fact was like Jake came to Cardiff to watch my fat ass play hockey, eh? And then threw chocolate on the ice for me. It's pretty cool to actually get the chocolate myself for once.
Yeah, no, Jake's a great kid, and yeah, he's a big shit ambassador. I'll say that. He he's kind of an extension of our team now at this point. So I'm really glad to have
That's
him
good.
have
And
him
he's
around.
he's the director of Shed Marketing, and that's how all this works is word of mouth and people buying in, and it takes everybody to win. And Jake, thanks for helping me win, buddy. Right?
That's right. He's a great kid, and it's always good to have him around.
It's funny to think of like when he looks back on his childhood, you'd think that these are going to be some pretty fond memories, right?
I would have to say so. There's definitely some core memories in there.
Ah, man. And when I don't know if Moose has given him the white bueno yet, but I'm gonna need a pick, guys, when you give him that white bueno, because that's pretty neat too. I might put that one up in the shed. I still got to
Yeah,
put a
that'd
picture of
be.
you up in the shed with that first ever Kit Kat. I've been meaning to do that, to put it beside Mac and Mosey with their Twixes and Kit Kats, you know?
I imagine it's tough to find room in there by now. You got a lot of memorabilia up there.
I do. It's like a museum of shed guys up in here now.
Just a hockey time machine.
It's a pretty cool shed for considering when I first came back from the game, I really wasn't too pleased with the sport and where it had put me in life and how it was like a dead end. And now I like it again, like more than ever.
That's funny how that comes and goes.
Yeah, weird. So anyways, next poster pick is what you sent the one of you playing golf. So you're a golf guy too then, eh? All hockey guys golf.
Yeah, I'm big into golf, and I think that was from the provincial amateur this last summer. And
Pardon me, you're that good at golf?
oh, I didn't win it by any means, but I like to compete. And we were playing with these two kids. One of them plays at UVic, like so. He was a stick. He was really good. And his parents like were following us around, but she's a professional photographer, so I like gave her the tap. I'm like, mind snapping some pics of me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. She was like, oh no, I already have a few. Like, don't worry, we'll get plenty. So that was pretty cool to have.
That is. Well, I didn't realize you're that good at golfer. If they say you gotta like practice to get good at stuff, I suck at golf now that I don't get to do it. No time. Been in my
Yeah,
shed too
I
much.
was. Yeah, I was lucky when I was a kid. My dad put a golf club in my hand when I was young, so you kind of get the the mechanics down early, and something you
Yeah,
can always resort back to is your original golf swing. So
I don't think so, bud. My best score is when I was 13. I was a junior champion. Shot 74. Now I can hardly break 90. It's
well, at least you
embarrassing.
were good at one point.
Right. I'm having a hard time getting around on the ball too.
Those old hips, that's all.
That's
Hockey
yeah.
hips.
So, anyways, I don't know what we've talked about the other two episodes. So I'm just gonna ask you questions like we've never talked before, okay? Summerside PEI, is that your hometown?
Yeah, I was born there. We moved when I was 5, my dad was RCMP, so we tend to move around quite a bit, just different postings. But basically, been everywhere in the Maritimes, from Cape Breton to Prince Edward Island to Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. So it's been a pretty wild ride, but with that,
Well,
I got to
I
meet a
always
lot of good,
say
a lot of good.
that shed guys come from certain pockets of the world and certain areas, and I don't know. I think it's where you're born or raised that kind of makes you who you are. But man, I really enjoy Maritimers.
They're usually laid back, and usually pretty honest, hardworking people who
Right.
always enjoy a pint at the end of the day. That's for sure. Which probably makes them more likable.
Well, right in my wheelhouse. But yeah, I'd never really played with any until Cully and Haddadi in Cardiff. And I was like, we really hit it off. And then since doing this, I've realized, man, there's a lot of Maritimers. Like,
Well, those are two pretty good ones right there.
that's for sure. So anyways, okay, let's see here. The Lewiston Maniacs, okay? You guys played 15 playoff games, but one guy on that team was Stefan Fournier. And speaking of the chocolate world, was when he was in Cardiff last year, we were getting crunchies tossed on the ice.
Yeah, Forens and I, funny story. So, he was drafted when I was a major junior. I was 17 and he was 16. We were playing on the same team. We lived together. He got traded at the end of that season, and then the following season, I got traded to his team. So we got to play like 3 years of major junior together, and
On different
he's a
teams.
yeah, he's a character and a great guy, and he's had a great career.
Yeah. Yeah, we were getting a lot of chocolate. We were getting it pretty carried away there, but he wasn't there long enough for it to sustain, you know? But it was fun when it happened.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy who can get the people going.
Yeah, I don't know why I've got into this chocolate so much because I don't really even eat chocolate that much, but a lot of fun happening. Weird. Okay, let's see here. So after junior, okay, you're a captain. You just had 19 playoff points in 16 playoff games, and then you choose to go to the University of New Brunswick instead of pro. How does that go about?
Well, I actually went to Oilers development camp that summer, and then the lockout happened. So I was a bit. It was a bit. I could have went to Europe as a 21-year-old, but at that point I wasn't really that interested in it. And my parents really preach education, so I had a good opportunity to go to a really good program at UNB, and I just said why not, and ended up being some of the best years of my life for sure. And we did a lot of winning within that time, so
Did you ever?
that always that always amplifies your experience no matter where you go.
Yeah, it makes it way more fun when you win. But yeah, the first year you won it with Cully, and he's like, I guess the leader old fellow then, eh? Your first year?
Yeah, he well, Cully, he's he's a natural leader, and he was a hell of a player too. So I mean, he was one of our top players, and I got to learn from a lot of great players at 21 that were a few years older, whatever it may have been. But I got to learn so much in those first 2 years of university. It's I owe a lot to those guys, so it was pretty cool.
Well, and then the last 2 years, you're the captain, and you guys win it both years, like the whole thing.
Yeah, we went back to back once on home ice too, so that was pretty cool.
What are the
It
scores of the?
was
Is it not like a one game final?
well, my first 2 years, it was like a six-team round robin format, and then those last 2 years when I went to U Sports, it was eight-team tournament single elimination. So it was kind of do or die, and
You got to
last
win.
year
You get there and you got to win 3 games to win it.
basically, and we beat University of Saskatchewan in the final, and the year before we beat the conference rival St. FX in the final. So both really really sweet and both special in their own way for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be fun. So then after that, you just won a couple national titles as a captain, and you're mucking it up. I'm sure you are. You decide to go to Australia.
Yeah, I mean, like their winter is our summer and vice versa, right? So I was in school and I had an opportunity, and I just basically said, "Screw it! Like, why not go to Australia? You probably never get a chance to go there again." So I know CJ, he was in Australia this past summer as well. So I'd recommend any guy in their mid 20s to go if they get a chance. It was a great time, and it was a really cool experience. Met so many great people, and got
You
to
really,
experience a
really
different
found your scoring touch over there too, eh?
yeah, you get to experience a different caliber of hockey for sure.
Well,
But
I got it
it
written
was a
down
lot.
here, 92 points and 37 games played.
Yeah, I mean it was fun, and I think we spoke about it before. But I had there was four imports a team, and we were all from the Maritimes. So you can imagine what we were getting up to while we were there. I mean,
Yeah.
hockey wasn't the first priority. We could say
Yeah,
that.
I could understand that. Yeah, you only live once, and I'm sure you only get to go to Australia for like the one summer, winter, right? So that's cool though. You get to do that in the off season. I know other guys that did that, and I haven't heard a bad thing about their experience, you know?
No, I
Did
can't see why they would say anything bad.
Yeah. Did you? I usually ask everybody that played in Australia. You ate kangaroo? You sick fuck.
I did, man. I did right on the barbecue,
Good Lord. Like a burger or like a leg?
like a steak.
Really? Other guys told me
And
about
I,
burgers. You're eating like a
yeah,
steak, eh?
yeah.
I've looked at kangaroos and they don't look like something I want to eat. I don't know why, but I guess
Hey, man, you gotta conform to the culture.
that's true, right? When in Rome, they say, right?
That's right. When in Rome, that's right.
So anyways, that sounds fun. So then you ended up in Jacksonville, which is one of those like nice places to go to the coast, right?
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Like, it's a blue collar city. Like, you have like you have the city itself, and then you have Ponte Vedra Beach, and man, it was fun. A lot of golf, played with a lot of great guys, and I got to go to some NFL games, and they got a minor league ball team there too. So,
That
you know,
isn't
and
that's
it
one thing that
was
hockey provides us, these guys from all these small towns all over Canada or wherever, is when you get to all these cities, you get to experience pretty cool shit, right?
yeah. There's everything from there's beach bars to the Players Championships held there at TPC Sawgrass. So got to go to that a couple times. Um, it was cool, and the other thing about that too is there's a lot of snowbirds in that area, so there was a lot of Canadians, and there was actually some people that I had known previously that lived there not like now, and so I got to hang out with a lot of people that I wouldn't get the chance to normally, so it was pretty cool.
Um, Actually, I got another poster pic I forgot. You sent a picture of you with the gal. You got a gal?
Yeah, so yeah, that's Tish, my girlfriend. She's not here with me. She's back in Canada, but she likes to come and visit a few times a year, and we like to get to travel a little bit, or as much as we can anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It is interesting times in hockey guys' lives, especially, in the leagues we play in and that I played in. It's like, well, the decision of whether or not the gal comes over or gives up their job to come. There's a lot of like life decisions, in those leagues.
Yeah, well, she's got a career of her own, so we let her do that, but she certainly loves to come visit, and yeah, it's always exciting when she gets to come.
Yeah, the only time I've been to Manchester outside of playing hockey was to go to a UFC fight when I was injured in Germany. We flew over on my birthday when I was injured for the year with my knee and watched a UFC fight. There's a lot going on in Manchester, isn't there?
Yeah, it never ends. I think on Sunday I'm going to a Blink 182 concert, so that's exciting.
Jeepers.
Yeah, I got to watch some of the Davis Cup tennis there earlier this year. France versus Australia was my first tennis match. It was awesome.
That is
Um,
cool.
it was yeah, it was really cool. I'd never been, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, there's definitely a lot going on. I mean, you're never bored. You can always find something to do.
I hear you. Well, it sounds like a fun place, folks, I'm like the team's like what? The cheapest marketing division they've ever had, eh?
Well, I mean, just
Now it's going to be easier to
people.
recruit people when we say all these nice things about Manchester. People will be like, Ginner, Finner, can we please come to Manchester? We hear you get chocolate and there's everything to do in Manchester and they got a sick barn. It's like the big blue tent in Cardiff, right?
That's right. Well, that's what we're trying to do. So, I mean, trying to market it and show guys what a great place it is to play.
Yeah. Well, and that's how things get rolling, right?
That's right.
Um, okay, let's see here. Do I have any more questions? So after Jacksonville, you're there your 2 years, which I find interesting. I don't like saying nice things to guys in my shed, but it's that you've only played on two pro teams. It shows the type of teammate and character guy you are, because even when you did leave and come to Europe to Manchester, when it's the COVID baloney, Jacksonville takes you right back, right?
Yeah, and that was a cool experience too to go back a second time. And kind of puts things in perspective for you. And with that COVID year, like man, there were so many good players. Like it was crazy, and the league was strong, and it was a lot of fun. Actually got reunited with a lot of guys. Chase Harrison, who's on the Storm now. We had started in Jacksonville together, and then we ended up back there together during that COVID year, and now we're in Manchester together. So, definitely a good buddy of mine. Who the list goes on. We were with guys
Sounds
we
like
had
he's
played
a
with
shed guy.
before. Yeah, he definitely is.
They say shed guys, no shed guys. That it is fun reuniting with guys though. Once you go your different paths was so my buddy Hendo that now runs like training kids in Cardiff. We played together as rookies in Daytona Beach, Ohio. Then don't see him again for like 9 years. And then that summer we both signed in Cardiff and hadn't spoken or anything in years. And then all of a sudden we see that and then boom, you know,
Yeah, but you know what that's like when you don't see a guy for a number of years, and then you're playing together again. It's just like you just pick right up where you left off.
fall right back in the pocket. It's just like coming to the
That's
shed. It's like when I haven't talked to a guy in 10 years, everybody's still the same.
that's a prime example, man.
Oh yeah, and it's so fun. I'm having so much fun out here, you know? And it's weird because I've gotten so sidetracked with your team and everything. It's like I haven't even done this to like see my friends, which is why I all started this. But now I have like new friends.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Go Storm, right? And Devils, right?
No.
Oh. Well, all I got really is that I really hope things really continue to get carried away because I love when things get carried away, you know?
Yeah, I like it too,
Yeah,
as you
that's
already know.
yeah, because fun is fun. And yeah, like when guys are willing to play with jam and muck it up, and like when everybody's getting along and hanging out on and off the ice, that's when shit gets magical, right?
That's what we were talking about core memories earlier. That's what it's all about.
I agree. And then you have lots to talk about when you come to your shed 10 years later, you know?
That's all.
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
Well, thanks for making the time for your sponsor, you know?
Oh, anytime, anytime, Wally. You know you're my guy.
All and don't forget your raffle tickets at aleshockeytales.com. And for the Steelers signed jersey, I heard it even spells like Robert Dowd's sweat. And you know what, Critch? Maybe it would work if you would get a shirt and sign it with all the Storm guys, and then I could put that on there and sweat in
That
it first,
sounds
okay?
all right. That sounds like a plan, man.
Yeah, because then maybe I can pay Finner all the money I owe.
I'm
People
sure he'd
helping
love that.
people, it's a powerful thing.
Yes, sir.
Right? Go Shed family. And this has been another episode of Two L's and Hockey Tales with Captain Critch and Wally.